Analysis. College hunks hauling junk and moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Hello and welcome to Tournament Central. I'm Keith Myers along with Sean Crawl. It's our pregame show for the Big City Alliance semifinals tonight. Number 1 Cathedral taking on number 5 Tindley tonight in game number 1. Both teams fought tough battles on Thursday night. Cathedral winning out against Chittard and Tindley upsetting the number 4 seed Tech Titans. And game number 1 should be very interesting here, Sean.
It really is. Both teams have played very complete schedules. Tindley, a 1A school, taking on Cathedral in a 4A school. And both teams have kind of dual threats offensively, if you will, that the other team has to really focus on. For Cathedral, Vincent Brady, 14.5 points a game. And a guy who really stepped up last year for them, Tayshawn Comer, at 15.3 points per game. That's who Tindley has to look out for on the defensive end.
A lot of people want to know how this tournament is picked. The ADs get together 2 weeks. They look at the Sager ratings. That's the most consistent ranking there is. They rank them 1 through 14. The two number 1 and number 2 seeds got a bye. Everybody else had to play through. So for Tindley, this is their third game in so many nights. So legs may be a factor. What do you say to a kid? You had to play Monday night. You had to play Thursday night. Now you play tonight. They're 16. They can make it, right?
I think you use this as a primer for sectional, Keith, to be completely honest with you. You're going to play that many games in that many days in sectional time, and you're playing an opponent in a class that's way above you, so you're really giving yourself a good opportunity. I think for Tindley, they really need to focus on the defensive end because Cathedral scores 74 points per game, and so far this year, Tindley's held their opponents to 61. They've played Lawrence North. It didn't go very well. They've got a chance to redeem themselves against Cathedral. They really need Aaron Humphrey to show up. 16.6 points per game, over 10 rebounds per game. He did not play well against Lawrence North. Jaden Pinkston did. He's their second leading scorer. But Humphrey needs to be there tonight if they want a chance to win.
And we'll go deeper in those numbers when we come back from our break. One of the things that we're excited about that IHSAA TV is on with Indiana SRN tonight, and also IPSathletics.tv is on with us. So we have a wide variety of people watching this worldwide. Many coaches called me today and emailed me today, excited that we were doing what we're doing. And sit back for the next 3 hours. It's going to be a lot of fun watching these 4 teams compete for a city championship.
It's going to be fantastic, just like the girls were, and hopefully we can have as great a games as we did last year.
How about last year? Double overtime victory for Christmas Haddocks. The game took forever to play, 94-91. What a great game that was. Do we have that again tonight with these 2 semifinals?
I think Covenant Christian has a shot. They're really a lot more focused this year. They've gotten contributions from everybody. They've only lost one game this year so far. I think they can play with Addicts if they can hold them down defensively. But it favors towards Addicts and Cathedral, but that's why we play the games. We found that out with the last second shot in the girls' City Alliance Championship where Chittard upended number 1 Heritage Christian.
And now let's talk about the atmosphere tonight. It's totally different as people see that we're wearing masks here in Control Central. We're socially distanced from both broadcasters and camera people. And Tech, maybe even not even half full. Kind of miss being there, but it should be a lot of fun. What's that take? Because now you played a whole entire season with maybe 50, 60 people in the stands. This place used to be packed.
It was, but I don't think it affects the kids as much as we think. They want to win this championship. Cathedral, after losing last year, Addicts wants to kind of hold serve and win it twice in a row. And then you've got Tindley and Covenant Christian that both are going to be like, wait, hey, don't forget about us. We're here as well. So I don't think that'll affect them as much.
During the game tonight, if you want to tweet us at Indiana SRN, we'll follow your tweets. We'll keep you posted. We got myself in the green room looking at the replays. We'll have a halftime show for you. But tweet us at IndianaSRN.org, at IndianaSRN. We'll try to answer all your tweets. A great game. When we come back, we're going to look at the tail of the tape. We're going to look at the key players for game number 1, and we'll be back. You're watching the City Alliance semifinals live on Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game. Back at the pregame show here at the City Alliance Championship Series, so Final Four. Cathedral taking on Tindley, and Addicts taking on Covenant Christian later on tonight. You look at the three officials as they look at warm-up, as we're looking down at warm-ups, and man, look at that beautiful floor. 2014 state champions, Tech High School. The guy that coached that game and that team is coaching Cathedral tonight, and Jason Delaney.
He is. He did a great job with Tech in winning the state championship and moved on to Cathedral, where he's looking to garner his first state championship with Cathedral. He has 2 under his belt so far. Can he get one in 4A? This may be the year for it. They're really stacked, but boy, that 4A is really tough.
And how about winning a 1A state champion with Waldron? You go to then you go to Tech. You win a 4A state championship with Tech, and now you're looking at getting another one at Cathedral. A shout out real quick to all the athletic directors and people that made this tournament possible, Sean, because the City Alliance Committee a couple of years ago took a stand to say, let's get back to city basketball. Let's get it right. This is our 8th year doing this. Now, I'm kind of prejudiced, but I think we've done a great job covering this thing. But, man, the teams have stepped up as well from 8 years ago, what it looked like to what it is now. And
we've added some teams. You look at Purdue Poly. This was their first year, and there's really kind of a renaissance to come back to win the city championship. And I think a lot of that boils down to the fact, like, look at how much it was lauded last year when Crispus Attucks won for the first time in over 50 years. That was a big deal, not just for Crispus Attucks, but for city basketball itself. And now that IPS has kind of formed into what they are now with the 4 schools, it really has kind of put a focus back on the city. The Marion County is fantastic, but boy, I'll tell you what, when you win the city championship of Indianapolis, that's a trophy you put high up on your mantle.
And I tell you, you get that to IPSathletics.tv as well. We've had great success with that partnership, and there are lots of people, I think, that has the interest of the city now because of the IPSathletics.tv. Great job by those people. Darren and Josh has done a great job coordinating all those games. And, George Washington is doing senior night. We got that on the air. All those things that has helped us and the City Alliance, I think, with that.
It has 100%. And you look, as you can see, the teams warming up on the season. Tindley, again, 1A, got their work cut out for them. They need the two guys, Aaron Humphrey, 16 and 10 per game, and Jaden Pinkston at 14 per game, to really step up and have big-time games, not just offensively but defensively, shutting down guys like Vince Brady and Tayshawn Coleman.
And you talk about 1A. Tindley is a 1A school. Covenant Christian is a 2A school, 2 4A schools. City Alliance is wide open from 1 to 4. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to this week, you're dead heat because it is the city, and there's so much talent now in the City Alliance. They can go to 14, 15 different schools.
Yes, they can. I mean, you look at Covenant Christian, had a couple transfers come in. They won the 1A state football championship. They're so much better this year basketball-wise as well because of those transfers. Two kids want to play, and they're getting a chance to play, and they want to play at this stage, in this gym, in this tournament. It
is coming down to the nitty-gritty, as we say. We're going to go to our last segment. When we come back, we'll break it down one more time for you, and then we'll throw it to Kurt Darling and Jarrett Lewis. They'll have the call for you on game number 1, and we'll also be here for halftime. You're watching live from Tech High School, the City Alliance semifinals, live on Indiana SRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
And we're back. We thank you for joining us. A couple minutes away, that's where we'll join our broadcast team. Top Knights guys doing our broadcast tonight. Game number 1, Kurt Darling and Jarrett Lewis. Game number 2, my good friend Sean Kral doing your 8th semifinal, and Jimmy Cook. And if they have a game like they did last year, that second game could go into double, triple, quadruple overtime.
Whoa, slow down.
As we look at both coaches and looking at Jason Delaney there, and he looks kind of relaxed tonight. And Omar Dillon, both of them look kind of relaxed, ready to play and trade out those starting cards. And sharp-looking dress, both of those guys.
Omar Dillard, his second year, I believe.
Yes.
With Tindley, a great job building the program. He's got some athletes that are there, and they find themselves in the semifinals. Great job by them. And, again, we talked about Purdue Poly. Cathedral, this is old hat for them. They're used to getting to Tech High School, and they expect to be in the final. But Tindley's pretty athletic, so we need to watch out and make sure that Cathedral doesn't overlook them, or they could be going home.
And you got to remember that Tindley was in this championship game just a couple years ago, surprising a lot of people. Some of those kids now playing at other locations like Purdue and so forth. Look at the tail of the tape. For Cathedral, they averaging 74 points a game, Tindley 60. Shooting percentage, 52% for Cathedral, 45% for Tindley. Here's, I think, where the game is going to be is in rebounding. Cathedral has that slight edge. Turnovers have got to be the key. And then you got to dive after the ball, get the 50-50 ball, and then you got to knock down some shots. And if the game is close, you got to let both players or your key players touch the ball.
To me, the stats that jump off the page are 38% as a team is Cathedral from three-point land, whereas Tindley is 28%. But the free throw line, as a team, Cathedral 75%, Tindley 58%. In a close game, you want good free throw shooters, and Cathedral is stacked with great free throw shooters. That bodes well for them.
Again, if you want to tweet us during the game, you can do that at Indiana SRN. Sean and I will be in the green room taking your questions. If you got any questions about Indiana SRN or about the game, hope you sit back and enjoy it. Got a double header for you. And let's talk real quick about game number 2. We'll preview that at halftime and look at some key plays of this half. But game number 2 is Addicts Covenant Christian playing really good ball. Where they picked up last year, where the season ended, they have picked up very well.
They have. They've really come together as a team. You've got Trey Flatt, who's playing the best basketball of his career, averaging almost 18 points per game. You got Brock Buckley, and you've got the Shelton twins. They've got weapons, and they've really come together as a team and figured out how to play well, adding guys like Brian Lomax and Michael Wilson into the fray that have really done well for them. But then you look on the other side, boy, Isaiah Stafford, Jalen Hooks, Jalen Carson, man, oh man, Addicts is just loaded.
And Covenant Christian scored 102 points on Monday night, turned around and scored 91 points on Thursday night. Do they got another night? I mean, that's a scoring machine. But Addicts has shown they can score over 100 points in a game. I think both coaches say just run up and down the floor, and whoever gets the ball last is going to win that thing.
It could be a track meet for sure. That is what I'm hoping for as I do that game. I think we could see in the 190 range for both squads on that one. So definitely stay tuned and stay with us for that second game.
Stay with us now. The tip-off is next. We'll join Kurt Darling and Jeff Lewis for the play-by-play. Jarrett Lewis with the play-by-play. Hey, it's new, guys. It's Tournament Central, okay? We'll take a break. They will have it right after this.
You got a broken door, trapped car, you can't buy time.
We take it very seriously and take pride in being responsive.
We have all of Central Indiana covered, from Martinsville,
Avon,
Up to Anderson.
to Cicero.
there's always somebody in your area.
It's important that we're able to get there, same day, because people's time is valuable.
On our trucks, we carry just about everything we need to fix a garage door right then and there.
Sunshine, rain, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
The Final Four in the city of Indianapolis. Tonight, it will be whittled down to 2. The first of those 2 deciding games tonight, the Tindley Tigers, number 7 in the 1A ranks, taking on the 4A juggernaut, the number 3 Cathedral Fighting Irish. Welcome inside Reuben D. Belmer Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Arsenal Tech High School with Jarrett Lewis. I'm Kurt Darling. The 2 teams tonight, Jarrett, they both have a legit claim to the city title here this evening.
Yeah, they sure do. And most people are going to watch this game, tune into it, and think, okay, Cathedral, they're the number 1 seed for a reason. They should be able to take care of business tonight, but this is not a Tindley team that you can easily overlook. They have some athletes, they have some really good guys that can score the basketball, and they can play sort of the same sort of game that the Cathedral Irish can. Cathedral, this is a game that they cannot overlook the Tigers. They're probably pretty motivated to get back to the championship game, which is where they were last year. They fell to Crispus Attucks in a real barn burner, 94-91 in double overtime. I'm sure they are super motivated to play their best basketball and then set up for another rematch with Crispus Attucks in the championship.
And definitely that would be an interesting turn of events, but of course they do have to get through the Tindley Tigers here tonight under the tutelage of Omar Dillard in his second season as the head coach of the Tigers. He is 22-16 overall. He had about just above a 500 record last year, 13-12 in his first year, but nonetheless he's really been able to kind of turn things around here at Tindley, who saw a lot of success in the mid 20 teens or so, but then after they lost their previous head coach here, they've kind of had to go through the head coaching carousel, if you will, and then they've really landed on a really good candidate here in Omar Dillard.
In his second year, a 22-16 record, and they're coming off a really nice win against Arsenal Tech just a few short 2 days ago, a 77-68 win as the 5 seed beating the 4 seed. You know, that's not that big of a difference, and now you're facing the number 1 seed, but that still can give you some momentum. You beat Arsenal Tech on their own floor, and now you're back in that same gymnasium trying to go up against one of the top 5 teams in the entire state of Indiana.
And of course, you're talking about the Cathedral Fighting Irish, number 3 in Class 4A, number 3 in the IBCA coaches poll, under the head coach Jason Delaney, who is 81-27 in his 5th year at Cathedral, but his record, as you know, extends a lot further than that. He's won a couple state titles in his own right, both at Waldron in his first year as a head coach in the Indiana high school basketball ranks back in Waldron in 2004, but he also won a state championship again on this very floor with Arsenal Tech with Trey Lyles on that team.
And he's done a little bit of everything in as far as class goes. You have a Waldron team down in the lower tiers in the 1A ranking, then you move up to Arsenal Tech, and now you're at a school that everybody in the state knows about in Cathedral. So he's kind of moving through the coaching carousel in his coaching career as well, but what an extraordinary career he has had on the bench. 81-27, his mark through 5 years coaching the Irish, and he has quite the roster to go down with, you know, to compete in the games that they're in. 4 of those starters are averaging in the double figures.
Of course, one of those starters is going to be none other than Tayshawn Comer, 15 points a contest, averaging 3.5 rebounds a game. He's coming off only a 9-point performance, though, against Bishop Chatard. Granted, he probably didn't see a lot of time in the second half because of the fact that Cathedral really put it to Chatard to get to this semifinal.
They certainly did. 76-38. They double the points scored by Bishop Chatard 2 days ago to get to this semifinal matchup. But you talk about Comer, 15 points is what he's averaging. He's going to be able to score from anywhere on the floor. He's shooting 51% from the floor, 38% from downtown. When he's gotten the basketball, everybody knows he has the ability to make something happen. He's going to come off screens. He's going to make cuts to the basket. But when he has the basketball in his hands, he has that isolation ability. He's going to try to break his guy down one-on-one, beat him off the dribble, and get to the bucket or rise up. His game is so dynamic.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by KOA Campgrounds Indianapolis. Make your reservations for 2021 now. Weekends are filling up fast. KOA, located east of Indianapolis off of I-70 in Mount Comfort Road. Be sure to visit them at KOA.com. Again, that's KOA Campgrounds of Indianapolis at KOA.com. Indianapolis Cathedral versus Indianapolis Tindley. Indian City Alliance tournament action right here on Indiana SRN. We will go ahead and take our first time out. When we come back, more pregame coming at you next right here on Indiana SRN.
What's the number one misconception you think about Freemasonry?
Well, I think most people just think of Freemasonry as some kind of secret society, and you go with some of the rumors out there and so on, and they really don't understand who we are. They don't understand that we are a fraternity of brothers first, and our obligation is to take care of each other and our widows and orphans, etc., within our group. They don't understand what the fraternity part of Freemasonry really is. And that's the misconception that's out there. I think first and foremost of anyone that wants to join Freemasonry, I'd like them to know that it's really not a secret society. You may say it's a society with a secret because we have some handshakes and some passwords that you could easily find down in a library if you get the right book. Freemasonry is more, it's a brotherhood, it's a fraternity, it's a way of sharing common thoughts and everything with people of all different vocations that really understand of getting together on the level. Whether you're a judge or a police officer or a janitor, you're all on the same level when you're in a Masonic lodge room. And I think that's one of the greatest things, that you can sit with people of all vocations, but you have that certain thing in common, that you're all brothers.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Indiana SRN is very excited to be a part of the success of the teams playing tonight. As we prepare for the next school year, we humbly ask you to consider supporting us. Every donation, big or small, gets us one step closer to putting another kid on TV for grandma who lives out of state, for viewing parties in Texas, or for our troops in the Middle East, all of which who watch our streams. To help us, simply go to our website at indianasrn.org and hit our donate button. It's just that easy. We thank you for your support. Again, go to indianasrn.org and hit the donate button. With Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling here live inside of Reuben D. Belmer Gymnasium on the campus of Arsenal Tech High School in downtown Indianapolis. Of course, Indianapolis City Alliance tournament action, and we are getting ready for game 1 of 2 tonight that you will be seeing here on Indiana SRN. Of course, the game you have right now will be Indianapolis Tindley taking on the Cathedral Fighting Irish, but later on tonight you will have Covenant Christian taking on Crispus Attucks in Game 2. But, of course, right now here, Jarrett Lewis, we meet the starters here for Indianapolis Tindley.
And one thing you're going to see from the starting lineup, we're going to talk about these guys more in depth as the game goes along, but 2 sophomores in the starting lineup. One of them, Billy Brown, he's averaging 9.3 points per game. And the other one, Jaden Pinkston, those 2 guys are going to be so heavily involved in the offense. Pinkston at 14.3 points per game, 5.5 rebounds. He's going to be very active on the boards, very active downside. He'll play inside, he'll play outside. And then a guy that Sean and Keith were able to mention in the pregame was Aaron Humphrey, a junior, and he's had the past couple of games hasn't been as active, I think, as he could be, and he's the leading scorer on this team, 16.5 points, so he's going to be a huge focal point in this offense and how they can keep pace with Cathedral, how they can stay in this game. He's probably going to be the X factor for Tindley.
And now you look at the Cathedral Fighting Irish here, again under head coach Jason Delaney. You see 5 players here on your screen that are, this is pretty much a Cathedral team that really has lived up to their number 3 ranking this season.
Yeah, they sure have, averaging 75 points per game, allowing their opponents to under 60 is what they average. That's a really good range. It's a really good difference. I'm sure Jason Delaney, the head coach in his 5th year, is super happy about the way his guys are playing on both sides of the floor. You get a good look at their starting 5 right here. Mostly seniors, including a sophomore, Jake Davis, averaging almost 9 points a game. But the other guys, the other 4 in the starting 5, averaging well over double digits.
And, of course, one of those is Tayshawn Comer, who we talked about earlier, 6'2", a senior, who's garnered a lot of interest from some D1 schools such as Ball State, Miami of Ohio, and IUPUI. He has offers from all 3 of those schools, but also Vincent Brady in the lineup as well, averaging 14 points a contest. He has already committed to play at Air Force for his career, so obviously just a lot of D1 caliber talent here on the squad.
We're going to see some D1 talent in this game. We're going to see some later on and with some guys on the Crispus Attucks team, but what a great night. Super Saturday here on Indiana SRN. 2 fantastic games for you in the City Alliance tournament.
Cathedral Fighting Irish 11-1 this season coming into this contest. They got through the Bishop Chatard Trojans to get to this semifinal round. The winner of this game will face either Covenant Christian or Crispus Attucks. That game to be decided later on this evening. Tindley coming into this contest 9-4 overall on the season. They are also 1-0 in Greater Indianapolis Conference play. Jarrett Lewis ready to go here for some City Alliance tournament action. Game 1 is underway, and the opening tip is controlled by the Fighting Irish. And right there they go to their big man Jake Davis, and outside to Comer, and he kicks it back outside. Just some nifty ball movement here by the Irish in the early going. Of course, a little too nifty maybe here as they get called for a over and back violation, and a turnover on their first possession gives Tindley a faux pas first possession.
Not the first possession you want, obviously, if you're Cathedral, but the good thing is you have pretty much the whole entire game left to play. So if you're going to have little things like that, little nitpicky things, have them early on in the game. That way you can correct it before the 2nd half. And
Billy Brown, the youngest player on the lineup here this evening for Indianapolis Tindley. He is only a sophomore, but he's averaging 9 points a contest. And he has the ball right now here. He was also a freshman last year who made more three-point shots than any other freshman in the state of Indiana last season.
How about that? That's something that I'm sure is in the scouting report for Cathedral.
On the elbow, turning it around, Humphrey for a long three, and he knocks it down. And Aaron Humphrey, who did not have a good game against Bishop Chittard, he was able to finally get things going here for Tindley.
How about the big fella for Tindley, able to step out, stretch the floor. He's shooting 45% from downtown. You get a good look at him there at the top of the key, knocking down the first bucket of the ball game.
Opening foul of the game here for Jaden Pinkston. That's going to be his first, and the first on Indianapolis Tindley. And Tayshawn Comer, again averaging 15 points a contest, handles the ball here as you see a carousel up top. Double team there is Davis, and he gets his pocket picked by Humphrey. So give 3 points and a steal to Aaron Humphrey here in this early going.
We talked about Humphrey being the X factor, keeping his team in it. Right now, both sides of the floor able to do just that as quick turnover to answer from Tindley.
Pinkston unable to handle the ball down low and gives it back to the Fighting Irish. As you see Vincent Brady, the Air Force commit, signaling a play here to get it across the timeline. Comer. They seem to try and keep turning the corner at the elbow, but Comer splits the defenders inside and can't finish.
Real tough take there from Comer. Just doesn't get it to go, but he's still going to be doing that the entire game, being relentless, getting to the bucket.
And quick in transition comes Antonio Robinson, and now Billy Brown. Leaves it up top here for Humphrey. Backdoor cut underneath, and a finish by Darian Davis.
Nice cut, quick timeout. Coach Delaney doesn't like the rhythm, the movement that Cathedral has right now on both sides. Great find by Humphrey. Give another assist to him, too. He's got points, he's got a steal, and now an assist.
And as you see there, Jason Delaney is not happy with his squad and how they've opened this contest. As you see now on the other side, Tindley, Omar Dillard talking to his team, telling them to probably just keep up the pressure right now here, especially defensively. They really haven't been able to get into a rhythm, has Cathedral.
No, not at all. And you see the defenders of Tindley, whoever has the ball, they're picking them up well beyond the three-point line. They're applying max pressure. I'm sure somewhere down the line they might switch their defense out, might move to a zone. They might pick up half court, maybe three-quarter court pressure.
And backdoor cut to Comer. He's blocked right at the rim there by Jaden Pinkston, and it forces a turnover.
Great help side defense there. The athleticism from Pinkston, able to go up. No contact with the body, just all arm, able to get his hand on that basketball.
Of course, Jaden Pinkston, only a sophomore, but Coach Dillard believes that he has the potential to be a high major player in D1. And you see that kind of talent right there. He's proving exactly that.
He sure is. And I think that last whistle, just a hand check foul maybe on Comer. So referees, at least on that play, they're watching those hands and how much pressure the defender is applying.
So Comer getting the foul there. And there's Pinkston trying to split the defender. They're going to get him for an offensive foul as Jake Davis had position.
Great take there by Davis. Looks like Pinkston may have been a little too out of control, and if that's on him, which it is, that's number 2.
And so that is not exactly what you want to see there if you're head coach Omar Dillard having 2 quick fouls in the first 5 minutes for one of your star players.
Yeah, and Pinkston is averaging 14 points a game. Plenty of game left still, but 2 fouls early on in this first quarter. Haven't even made it halfway through this opening quarter. Has to sit on the bench.
No-look pass tipped up, and another turnover forced by Tindley. They're playing some suffocating defense, but Aaron Humphrey unable to field the pass down low, and Comer tries to get it, balks it off the front of the rim, and it gets into the hands of Tindley, and Aaron Humphrey has 2-on-1 advantage, puts it up, can't connect. It's tipped out of bounds. And we'll see who it's against, and it will be Tindley basketball.
Good idea by Humphrey on that fast break. He just has Davis to beat, but Davis beats him to the spot. He sees that he's going to be set, trying to take another charge, and Humphrey wisely just rises up, tries to put it off the glass.
And Jake Davis at 6'5", a sizable preference there down low for Cathedral. Into the ball game now, Joseph Glenn, who's trying to counteract that size advantage here for Cathedral. As Billy Brown holds it up top. Off the pick and roll, Humphrey inside, can't get the jump hook to finish, fights for the rebound, can't put it up again, maybe get a block, and up goes for the rebound Vincent Brady.
What a dangerous pass that somehow found its way in down to Humphrey, and he was relentless, trying to get that offensive board, keep the play alive. Unfortunately, doesn't come up with it that time.
And trying to move around there, but a traveling violation on Jackson Edwards forces yet another turnover. And Cathedral really put in an unfamiliar spot right now here as they have a big goose egg on the board after 4 minutes of play in this first quarter.
A little over the halfway mark, and something that people weren't expecting. Cathedral failing to score, just like you kind of mentioned it earlier. No rhythm, no real movement. They had that one sequence where both teams were kind of going up and down. Passing wasn't great, so maybe Cathedral will try to slow it down, run through some sort of set.
Billy Brown fires a three. That doesn't go, but Antonio Robinson is right there to clean things up, and it's now a 7-point advantage for Tindley here in the early going. And right around turning the corner, can't finish there, does Jaron Tibbs. Brady tries to finish. Again, Tibbs again tries to go, and he finally gets it to go that time. And that breaks a huge scoring ground for Cathedral to cut it to 5 in the early going.
Well, Tibbs doesn't make the layup, but he makes the more difficult shot. He's fading away from the bucket and somehow gets a lucky bounce, gets it to go down.
Foul on Jaron Tibbs there. That's going to be the first on him and the second on Cathedral here in this half. And it just sees right now here, you just have Cathedral just kind of put on their heels a little bit, and Tindley, that may have been the big game plan all along from head coach Omar Dillard, just to go out there and just put them on their heels and make them uncomfortable.
Just to stay aggressive on both ends. Defense, they're kind of getting into the dribble lanes. The passes haven't been totally clean from Cathedral, and then offensively, you have a guy like Humphrey who has been able to kind of kickstart a little bit of run, and when he's down in the lane trying to go after rebounds, he's relentless. His motor isn't stopped, trying to keep it in his team's possession.
Humphrey fakes out Jake Davis, can't get the scooper to connect, and fighting for the rebound there, Jake Davis comes away with it, nearly loses it, and Jaron Tibbs will bring it across where Jalen Johnson will load up a three. That goes off the mark. It's tipped out of bounds, and they're going to say Tindley basketball.
Real quick possession that comes up empty for Cathedral, and if you're a guy like Johnson, if those shots are there, he's shooting 35% from downtown, so he's going to put some up. But I'm sure maybe they're going to have some possessions coming up here where they want to get the best look possible and kind of run through some sort of sets, take anything inside the three-point line to chunk away at this lead.
Billy Brown, a long three from up top. Again, cannot connect. He's 0 for 2 now in that regard. Johnson finds Comer on the wing. And respecting Comer's talents there, they leave it for Johnson. Turning the corner is Tibbs. And he loses the handle on that shot as Jake Davis again can't corral it. And Tibbs brings it back along here for Tindley. Underneath again goes Antonio Robinson. And
nice find, yeah, that pass, really good pass from the right wing. Robinson making the cut, and a little fast break there for Tindley.
Comer tries to step back, has to pick up his pivot foot outside. Three on the way for Cathedral. That is Jackson Edwards. And again, it's off the front of the iron. Cathedral shooting at a very low percentage right now, as they have some numbers outside. Johnson holding it. And now Jake Davis, the big man, tries a three, and he knocks a big one down to try and put some life into this Cathedral offense.
Real good offense that time, making the extra pass and finding Davis. The defense was still kind of trying to shift back and get to their spots, find their man, and Davis was trailing. Top of the key, knocks it down.
And a hand check foul coming up on Jalen Johnson, his first. The third on Cathedral, and Jason Delaney not very happy with that one, but nonetheless, that is the call on the floor. As you see, it comes with substitutions now. Brady, as well as Sincere Germany, checking into the ballgame. splitting the defenders down low, blocked by Germany, goes out of bounds. And it will be Cathedral basketball.
I was just about to say, Davis kind of went through everybody, and then the last line of defense there was Sincere Germany, who blocks his shot. So I guess bad defense, but then ends up being good defense for Cathedral.
Johnson off the elbow, back outside to Brady. He fires a three, and the big rebound tackled there by the big man Joseph Glenn. And now Aaron Humphrey brings it in transition, almost a steal there by Johnson. And Darian Davis trying it again. Instead, there's a jump ball call, and it looked like one of the other officials may have called a foul. They're going to go with the jump ball call, and the arrow favors Tindley.
Here's a good 30.7 on the clock for Tindley to kind of run the clock the rest of the way down, make sure that they're the team that gets the last look before the buzzer sounds. So look to see them maybe take the clock all the way down to around 8 or 9 and then run through some sort of set. Maybe a guy like Humphrey or Davis trying to get involved. Those two guys have been the ones getting to the bucket the most.
Brown has to fire a long pass out of bounds. And Davis right to the rim he goes. And Antonio Davis is having himself, or that's Darian Davis rather. He has a good shot now here tonight. He has 4 points. Jake Davis on the other side, he fires another three.
His second one of the game, a quick answer, and looks like Cathedral may have had a chance at the last shot, but now Tindley has another one again.
Joseph Glenn, he can't connect on that corner three. 5 seconds left to go in the quarter. Outside, Brady has to fire it up, and he hits it at the buzzer. The shot counts, and that cuts it to a 3-point ball game as Vincent Brady finally gets into the scorebook. We will take a timeout when we come back. Second quarter coming up next on Indiana SRN.
More fixing, more finding, more being original. Unique like this, trendy like that. More designing this, arranging that. More saving, and then more making it happen. More of your space looking like this, and more of you feeling like that. More excitement, more savings, more furniture, more rugs, more flooring. More affordable luxury from RG Decor.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Chimney Solutions is a proud sponsor of tonight's broadcast. The team here at Chimney Solutions travels throughout the Indianapolis area, making chimney and fireplace maintenance easy, affordable, and stress-free as possible. Chimney Solutions, a proud sponsor of today's City Alliance Tournament broadcast. With Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling here at Arsenal Tech High School. Jake Davis tries to fire another three there for Cathedral, and they are firing all over the place as Tayshawn Comer finally gets into the scorer's column. But, of course, now it's the first lead of the game tonight for Cathedral after it was Vincent Brady that saved that first quarter there for the Fighting Irish.
That's the last thing you want if you're Tindley, is you're giving up second chance opportunities to this Cathedral squad, a top-ranked team in the state. And what happens is, rebound gets tipped out to a guard, and now you're scrambling around trying to find the guy that you're guarding, and you end up leaving a wide-open shooter like Comer to knock down that three.
Jake Davis picking up his first foul there as Humphrey gets the inbound and gets a steal ripped right out of his hands, and it gets tipped right back out of bounds off of Cathedral, so that kind of bails Tindley out here. And so now you finally see Cathedral getting a little momentum here, and if you're Tindley, you really want to try and keep doing what you were able to do early and just kind of keep pressure defensively on them.
Yeah, Tindley's going to continue to drive and kick. If the lane's there, they're going to take it all the way, and Humphrey's been doing that. Davis has been really good at doing that, and then for Cathedral, they've been shooting the ball a lot more than Tindley, especially, farther out from the basket. Three-pointers have been going up. There was 3 of them made in that first quarter from Cathedral. They kind of started out slow, but this is a team that's going to continue to shoot. They have the guys that are going to keep on putting them up.
Of course, someone who needs to start making shots here for Tindley is Billy Brown. He's 0 for 3 from behind the arc to start this contest. Vincent Brady tries again, and he rattles home another one.
Brady and Davis now both with 2 3-pointers through this first half. Tindley need to do a better job of closing out on those shooters.
Back outside, Humphrey for another 3. That's a little strong. The rebound, though, falls to Robinson, and a good pass down low connects with Darian Davis.
Great pass by Robinson, able to find Davis. All the attention is on him. He's driving in. The defense collapses on him, and nobody's there to pick up Robinson.
Jake Davis tries to hit another 3 there. He's now 2 for 4 from behind the arc, as Billy Brown will bring it back across. Brown tries to juke off the defenders. He picks up a foul going right into the lane, and you're going to get a hand check here on Cathedral, and it's going to be against Jalen Johnson. That is now his second, as we take a look here at the Vincent Brady 3 here on this previous take.
See, Davis is getting there, and he knows that Brady is a shooter, but he's not getting there as quick as possible. He has both of his hands up, and he needs to close out and make sure that Brady doesn't even try to put the shot up.
Cathedral has ramped up the defensive pressure here in this quarter, as you see Humphrey going 2-on-1, and he knocks it down. What a shot there by Aaron Humphrey to at least keep Tindley within reaching distance, but right on the other end comes Sincere Germany.
Great answer by Germany. He sees all that space there. He knows he can't really get to the rim, so he's just going to rise up.
And there's an offensive foul called on Billy Brown. That will be his first personal foul of the night.
And Billy Brown, he sees that these referees are calling these hand check fouls, so he is, relentless, continuing to try to get to the rim, except there, another great charge taken, the second one of this first half from the Irish.
Comer up top around the horn. Germany into the lane, and he gets the finger roll to fall. So Sincere Germany with 4 points off the bench here for the Fighting Irish.
Now looks like timeout called, possibly looks like Tindley calling this one.
And so it's a timeout called here by Tindley. And we have yet to see if it's a 30 or full timeout. And we'll keep it right here on Indiana SRN. Here, of course, Bertner Electric has been serving the Noblesville community since 1986. Since then, we have explained our services to Carmel, Fishers, Zionsville, Indianapolis, Westfield, Anderson, Tipton, and also Elwood. We are a family-owned and operated company. We take pride in our customer service and put our customers first. Give us a call at 317-773-7663. That is 317-773-7663. Bertner Electric, a proud sponsor tonight of this City Alliance semifinals, powered by Indiana SRN. With Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling here out of the timeout. Tindley, they just got to try and keep themselves right here within arm's length, if not just try and keep that pressure up.
Yeah, they can't be discouraged now being down 6. After getting a lead in that first quarter, you had all the momentum. Things were working for you on both sides of the floor. So, don't be discouraged. Make quick passes like that for wide open threes.
Orlando Hall coming off the bench here during that timeout. He's able to get some points off the bench here for Tindley, and they keep it to 3.
And one thing now, both teams are going to the zone defense. So if you make quick passes like that, you're going to find the wide open shooters because the defense has to react quicker than you to try to shift.
Vincent Brady tries to beat the zone defense, and he does right there. He now has 3 3-pointers tonight with 9 points.
Already 6 as a team from Cathedral, and just 2 on the other end for Tindley. The name of the game right now is 3-pointers for Cathedral, and Tindley is doing more of making quick passes and finding those open lanes so guys can drive in.
Aaron Humphrey can't find a lane, has to kick it back outside. Darian Davis up top now to Hall. Around the horn inside, Glenn can't connect from the charity stripe. Tyshawn Comer splits the defenders inside. Doesn't get the shot to fall, but draws the foul on Tindley.
I think on the other end, if Glenn catches that basketball and takes maybe an extra half second or full second to try to put up that shot and set his feet right, he's going to knock that down. How about the passing here?
Orlando Hall getting the big 3-pointer there on the previous take for Tindley. 2 free throws now coming for Tyshawn Comer. The first trip to the foul stripe by any team here tonight, as you see Tyshawn Comer there. shooting 80% from the charity stripe this season.
This is a really good free throw shooting team as well. There are 4 guys that are shooting over 80% from the line.
And as a team, they are shooting 75%, which is a really, really good stat, which includes the better and the poorer shooters. Inside here now, Aaron Humphrey. He holds it up top. Davis can't get inside. He gets his pocket picked, and it will stay with Tindley here as it gets tipped out of bounds by Cathedral.
Actually, they may have gotten a foul. Yeah, Germany was all over Brown. Actually, Germany was all over Hall.
They called that on number 3, Sincere Germany. That is going to be his first. And the 6th now on Cathedral, 1 more, and that puts Tindley in the bonus. An expanded zone defense here by Cathedral as they're getting it up top. Humphrey to Davis in the corner and almost connects there, but just a little out. Long pass looking down low there to Edwards, and some bodies hit the floor there. It goes out of bounds. No foul called. It stays with Cathedral.
On the offensive side for Tindley, that last shot, although it didn't go down for Davis, that's how simple it can be when you're going up against a 2-3 zone. If you just make quick passes like that, the guys in the top of that zone have to move almost as quick as the passes do.
Getting the offensive rebound there is Xavier Booker, the sophomore, standing 6'10". He can't connect, but Sincere Germany with another finger roll inside. He now has 6 points in this quarter.
Boy, Germany is just so slick, so smooth driving through that lane. He's just splitting every defense and getting to the bucket.
And now you see Xavier Booker in there for Cathedral. He comes away with a steal right there. But then stealing it right back is Tindley. Darian Davis waiting for the defenders to come swarming in. He does so. That will put him at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity here as you get a foul coming up here on, it appears, Xavier Booker.
Yeah, Booker when he got rid of the basketball, he realized he wasn't in a good spot to try to get it to one of his guards, and so he turned the ball over, and then good idea. Davis got that basketball. He saw Booker closing in at 6'10" and thought, okay, I don't think I can go up with this. I'm going to do a little shot fake, put him up in the air, and draw the foul.
And now you see Jaden Pinkston check back into the ball game. He has 2 fouls, and of course they've missed him throughout the majority of this quarter here. And Davis unable to connect on the front end of that 1-and-1, and the ball gets tipped out of bounds by Cathedral, so that bails Tindley out here. As you see Brown back into the ball game now.
Here's a good opportunity, now down 10. To have a good quality possession. If you're Tindley, you're facing the largest deficit. This is a Cathedral team that could easily open up the floodgates and take off from here. So a good quality possession should be in the works for Tindley.
A high pass fielded there by the long arms of Aaron Humphrey. He tries to dribble around Davis, and instead he gets called for traveling.
Good idea, though. That backdoor cut was open with Billy Brown. You don't get called for steps there, and now you make it an 8-point game.
And so it is a 10-point ball game, but it feels like it's a lot closer than that, just the way that these two teams are playing each other really hard.
It sure is, because the first quarter was totally Tindley, and now Tindley's quieted down here, just 7 points in this quarter. Cathedral has started to come alive. Their shooting is starting to get hot.
And Cathedral loses the handle on it. Humphrey comes away with it. 2-on-1 inside, and a blocking foul called there by Jake Davis. He tried to get in position to try and draw another charge, but instead he picks up his second foul of the night.
That's the 3rd attempt now from Jake Davis trying to take a charge, so you love his effort, you love his attempt there, and you got to think, do referees typically give out 2 charges to one guy in a
Ooh, and now we have a technical foul called on Tindley. And so a technical foul assessed to Tindley. It looked like he pointed to Darian Davis.
And the reaction from Humphrey also made it look like it was going up against one of his teammates.
We'll see what they call here. Either way, it's going to be 2 free foul shots for Cathedral. And now the refs are speaking with Aaron Humphrey here, getting a little bit of clarification.
Maybe this
is going to be against Cathedral. It looked like they pointed to Tindley, but
it sure looked like they pointed to Davis, number 21 for Tindley. But and the reaction from Humphrey also seemed like he thought that one of his teammates picked up a technical foul, but apparently that is not the case.
That appeared to be the case right here. Of course, we couldn't quite get a feed on what the PA announcer was saying there, but either way, technical foul here on Cathedral. That's not exactly what you want here if you're head coach Jason Delaney, as you see him right there.
And do note,
it's a double technical.
Also, Davis did take a seat. He picked up that foul. He was trying to take the charge. Maybe something on Davis, although we obviously did not have the best look at it.
So we've got 2 fouls assessed here. So we've got it was a personal foul. It was a personal foul on Cathedral. Then it was a technical foul assessed to Tindley. So that was how we had it all there. So either way, but when in that situation you don't have any players on the line, so Tindley was able to get their regular personal foul shots while Cathedral took their technical foul shots, and you now have Cathedral with the basketball.
A big technical called against Tindley, especially you don't want something like that when you're facing a deficit like you are.
So now we got all that sorted out here. We keep playing with basketball here in City Alliance tournament action as Jaden Pinkston unable to connect, and a long pass and an easy lay-in there for Tayshawn Comer.
He made it difficult. It almost didn't want to go down for him.
And Comer was held scoreless in the first quarter. He now has 11 points here in this second quarter. Billy Brown pulling up from right there at the elbow, unable to connect. Humphrey tries to put it back, and he gets a foul called, as Cathedral will pick up another one. And so Xavier Booker picks up his second foul. So the sophomore big man in some foul trouble off the bench. And again, Aaron Humphrey misses 2 in a row here. He's 1 for 3 at the foul stripe. Of course, Humphrey just a 66% foul shooter this season. And he goes 1 for 2 there on that trip. He now has 7 points as Germany fires a 3 on the other side. Nothing there. 12-point advantage now for Cathedral. Brown again trying to get a shot to fall. And Tindley getting a little trigger happy here on a lot of their possessions.
They're really throwing it down the floor, and they have the athletes that, out of a rebound, typically teams like this are going to want to push the tempo anyway, but Cathedral a few times now is trying to not necessarily cherry pick, but they have the guys down the floor, and they're being aggressive trying to get these fast break points.
17 foul now on Tindley, as they will now put Cathedral in the 1-and-1 bonus. You see Vincent Brady at the charity stripe now. This is only the second time that Tindley and Cathedral have ever met. The last time these two teams played was back in 2017, which was the City Alliance tournament back then. And Cathedral came away with a 64-50 victory. And of course, that was en route to Cathedral's city title that season. So Vincent Brady goes 2 for 2 there. Those are the first points that he has scored that are not three-pointers. Inside a minute to go now. Brown, spin move down low by Glenn.
Real good offense there from Tindley. You try to get the steal if you're Comer, so if you're Tindley, you see that. It's a missed opportunity for Cathedral, so you take advantage of that, try to get it down inside the three-point line, try to make something happen with the numbers.
Germany, scoop pass underneath, wide open, Xavier Booker who gets the slam. And Xavier Booker, the 6'10 sophomore off of the bench, gets his first 2 points of the night.
Booker barely had to get off the floor to flush that one down.
And now the last shot coming here for Tindley. It's a 14-point advantage for Cathedral, who trailed by as many as 7 points earlier this evening. And now a foul coming up. It's going to be against Vincent Brady, his first. And now you put Billy Brown at the foul stripe, who has not been able to connect from the field tonight. He is 0 for 3 from from behind the arc, but also 0 for 2 from inside the arc as well. He finally gets in the scorer's column with that free throw. Brown shooting 65% this season. Nails both of them. So 4 seconds left. Cathedral has a time for one final shot. Comer has to load it up and can't get that thing to go there at the buzzer. So at the halftime period, it is 36-24. Cathedral gets themselves out of a jam in the first quarter, and they now take a 12-point lead to the halftime period.
Got off to a slow start, but this is a team that has some really good shooters. 4 guys, like we mentioned, scoring in double digits, what they average a game. So you got guys, you just continue to shoot. If it's there, obviously you put it up. Jake Davis with a pretty big half. 2 3-pointers go down for him. Vincent Brady and Jerron Comer able to kind of find a groove in that second quarter and put them out in this 12-point lead.
A trip to the finals here in the City Alliance Tournament on the line tonight. The winner of this game faces either Covenant Christian or Crispus Attucks. That game going to be decided later on this evening. Of course, we will have Sean Kroll and Keith Myers giving you a little bit more insight into that contest here during our halftime show here. And, of course, this broadcast here tonight has been brought to you by a good free estimate from College Hunks and Movers, professional affordable movers for local and long distance. Our movers and service experts are here to make moving easier. 14 years of experience, family owned and operated, fast and professional. Just call College Hunks and Movers today at 317-516-0569. We'll go ahead and send it to halftime. Jarrett Lewis with Kurt Darling here at Arsenal Tech High School. You have been watching City Alliance High School basketball action here on Indiana SRN.
Cold is just around the corner, and here at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling,
we're ready for anything.
We care about our craft like we care about our customers.
Our technicians are fully certified
and up to speed on the latest equipment.
Available 24/7, we don't leave anybody in the cold.
That's our top priority.
We don't just work for the company,
we are the company.
So we do the best we can for every one of our customers.
Trust the name you know at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers. Summers.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Wow, what a first half. Sean Kroll, Keith Myers, as we at Tournament Central score 36-24 Tindley and Cathedral. Cathedral really dodged a bullet. I thought the first 3 minutes of the game, Tindley had a lot of open bunnies that really could have made a big difference today.
Yeah, it could have. They had a lot of opportunities. Cathedral couldn't really hit any shots early, and Tindley had an opportunity to really widen that lead. Could not take advantage of it. That first big three by Davis, I think, was a turning point for Cathedral. He kind of got them going. They hadn't shot very well. They really picked things up in the second quarter, doing a much better job scoring. As you see, the guys that are always there, Comer and Brady, they're leading scorers for Cathedral, and they really kind of put their foot on the gas, so to speak, in the second quarter.
How about this? JV games today started at 2:30 and 2 and 3:30. Attucks wins over Covenant Christian, and Chittard wins by 1 last second. Unbelievable. That's the JV championship game Monday night, 6 o'clock, just before the championship game at 7:30 that we will have right here on Indiana SRN.
Love that the JV championship is before the varsity championship on Monday night. Don't forget to come back for that. IndianaSRN.org on Monday night. 7:30 is the tip time. We'll have Tournament Central before that. Second game coming's pretty good, but Keith, I really think, one of the things we need to talk about, the turning point really in that first half for me, when the ability Tindley had for the and one opportunity and to really kind of cut into that lead, and then they got the technical foul. That was a huge flip in momentum, gave Cathedral a chance to get more points and extend that lead back. Tindley cannot make mistakes like that if they want to beat Cathedral.
Because that was the run of 25-13 in the second quarter that Cathedral had. And you talk about that technical foul. You got the foul call. You got exactly what you wanted. You're going to the line. You could cut it within 9. And all of a sudden, the unsportsmanlike. And we talked about this a little bit. Got to control yourself. It's the inner side of that that maybe the youth of Tindley haven't yet required.
It's difficult. You know they're the big guy on the block. Cathedral is top 5 in the state in 4A and in the coaches poll. You're jacked up to try and get a victory for them, and you can't make those mistakes, as you'll see here on this replay. It's the big 3 here from Davis.
Yeah, I mean, look how he set his feet, and then you got to go out. You got to put a hand out, maybe a second too late. You got to recognize he's going to shoot that shot 90% of the time.
And that was his second one. His first one was from the top of the key, and it was the first big shot Cathedral hit in that first corner, kind of get them off the schneid, because there was a lid on the hoop for them early in this game. And like we talked about, Tindley just couldn't make any shots, and you cannot give a guy like that Brady any space at all, or he will knock those shots down. And the zone.
Right.
Do they stay with the zone, or does Tindley go back to man-to-man?
I think they got to go back to man-to-man, but then I think Cathedral's speed may put you farther behind, because I think Cathedral might be a little bit faster.
That's potential, but I think the trump card that Jason Delaney has is the 6'10" sophomore off the bench that allows them to get a rebounding advantage should that kind of go against them, as you'll see a 3 ball here, I believe, from Tindley.
Yeah, pass, move the ball, and there's one thing I like at that they all blocked out. They were ready for the rebound as well. Pretty impressive. How about this? Game number 2, Addicts, Covenant Christian. We talked about it in our pregame show. We talked a little bit about halftime. Those 2 teams are playing very, very well.
Yes.
Both of them, one has 2 losses. One only has 1 loss. Both of them play very tough schedules in their staggering in their classes. This could be a track meet.
It could be an unbelievable game, and we could see a lot of what we're going to see right now here on this if things kind of get moving like we hope it will in the second game, as you could very easily see a lot of flushes, as our friend Joey Lindstrom likes to call them. He loves the dunks. And so you get here's
how about this?
There's the 6'10", boom, and he barely jumped and threw it down with the left hand. With guys like Jalen Hooks and Isaiah Stafford, you could get a lot of that in the second game. I got to make sure and try and conserve my breath for that, because it could be a doozy.
Well, I just want to let you know I did that in horse against Jarrett today before the game.
Yeah, but it doesn't count on Nerf hoop.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, 36-24 is our score at halftime. Look at this. Look at some of the scoring. 6 points here for Robertson and for Davis for Tindley. Leading scorer for Cathedral is,
I believe it's Vincent Brady with 11. And Comer has 9. Once again, Humphrey not doing a ton, so he's really got to be the straw that stirs the drink for Tindley if they want a chance to come back.
Well, it is halftime. We're going to throw it back to Kurt and Jarrett.
Yes.
We'll be here in between games.
Jarrett
Stay
Lewis.
with us.
Jarrett Lewis.
Is that who it is?
Yes, it is, not Jeff Jarrett.
City semifinals right here on Indiana SRN.
Piper Group Warehouse has a strong commitment to their clients as their logistics provider. If you would like to discover how you can improve your service levels while lowering your overall cost, Piper Logistics Group can help. Call Greg Piper today at 317-396-3916. Piper Logistics Group.
Halftime here at Arsenal Tech High School. City Alliance semifinal action here on Indiana SRN with Jarrett Lewis. I'm Kurt Darling. Of course, we would both like to hear from you on Twitter. Be sure to add us at Indiana SRN on Twitter. And also, if you're watching this broadcast tonight on our YouTube channel, be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel and click the subscribe button at Indiana SRN on YouTube.com. Well, a topsy-turvy first half, to say the least here, Jared. Of course, you had Indianapolis Tindley coming out to as much as a 7-0 lead, but then after that, it's been pretty much all Cathedral.
The first quarter kind of belonged to Tindley. They were the more aggressive team. It looked like they wanted it a little bit more, but Cathedral, they stuck to who they were. They knew that they're capable of doing anything, and it just started with one bucket. You know, that's kind of how you got to look at things when you're down like that. Just let it start with one bucket, get it to a guy like Davis or Brady or Comer, three guys that have all knocked down three-pointers in that first half. So continue to find those shooters if you're Cathedral. If you're Tindley, you got to hedge out at them a little bit more, give them a much better closeout, prevent them from getting off the best possible look that they can. And then offensively, I think, you know, with guys like Humphrey and Davis, they were pretty relentless at getting to the bucket, trying to draw fouls. The refs were really kind of calling those touchy hand check type fouls. So I think Tindley, if they can stay aggressive like that, maybe get some and one opportunities, they can start to clip away at this deficit that they're facing, which is at 12 right now.
Of course, you have City Alliance tournament action going on right now, but of course that's not the only high school basketball going on. A quick score update here from over on the east side. You have Lawrence North and Homestead, the two top teams in Class 4A, duking it out right now. It is tied 46-46 with 2 seconds left to go in that ball game. We'll give you a final score in that one here as we keep getting score updates on Twitter. But of course, right now we're back here live for second half action of City Alliance tournament action between Tindley and Cathedral. And Cathedral trying to hold a 14-point lead as we go into the second quarter, and there's a foul right out of the gate to get things started in this second quarter.
Just like what we were talking about, Tindley, take it to the hoop. You know, try to beat your guys off the dribble, and right there, Billy Brown, a perfect example of doing just that, and a quick foul called against Cathedral.
And that's Tayshawn Comer picking up his second here right out of the gate. And so Tindley, again, trying to beat Cathedral for the first time in their history. They've only met once before, and that was, of course, back in the City Alliance tournament a few years ago, back in 2017. That was a 64-50 loss to the Fighting Irish. And an alley-oop attempt doesn't go there for Pinkston. And Cathedral gets their first possession of the second half, and Comer taking it right in on top of Aaron Humphrey. He gets the shot to fall and draws the and one.
How about the missed shot by Tindley? Okay, and Cathedral gets the rebound, and they're pushing it up the floor. They're pushing the pace. You get it up the floor to Comer. He's a guy, he's just so explosive, so aggressive. He's got that basketball. He's taking it all the way to the rim and drawing a foul. He gets a three-point opportunity for himself.
And he's able to convert that old-fashioned three-point play. He now has 12 points. Of course, Comer had only 9 points against Bishop Chatard just a few days ago. And Brown has been cold from the field here today. And his pass goes out of bounds, so back-to-back turnovers here for Tindley. And just not a good start here in this second half for Omar Diller's squad.
The defense for Cathedral, even up 15, they're going to pick you up well beyond the three-point line. Both possessions now from Tindley. The guy with the ball, the guys that are running the perimeter, they're getting picked up well beyond by Cathedral defenders.
And going for the dunk there is Jackson Edwards. And he is fouled as he goes up for it. It does not fall. And they're going to get Joseph Glenn, it appears. And indeed, that is the call. So that's Glenn's first foul. And Glenn getting the start here in this second half. He was on the bench in the first half as Edwards knocks down his first points of the ball game. And now a timeout on the court. And it's a full timeout. We'll take a break here on Indiana SRN.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you can be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
kids coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
So out of the full timeout taken by Tindley here with Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling. City Alliance semifinal action, and Cathedral really starting to pull away with this one as Tindley has yet to score in the second half.
Yeah, Cathedral is just taking what the Tindley defense gives them, as now they've already put in 3 free throws, so they're getting to the line and they're trying to get the ball into the lane. And by my unofficial stat book here, Cathedral has not missed a free throw so far this game. A 9 for 9 mark, I believe, is what they're at right now.
And now a foul on the other side here. It's going to be against Cathedral. You're going to give that one to Jaron Tibbs. So second foul of the half here for Cathedral. And Brown tries to turn the corner. Gets the ball picked there. And Tibbs brings it in transition, leaves it for Comer. And he kicks it back out to Davis, who has a lane inside, puts up the floater and banks it off the glass.
The ball movement there was really, really good looking from Cathedral. Just a lot of guys who had some decent looks. Comer looked like he had a look of his own, but instead hands off to one of his teammates in Davis, who takes it all the way.
Going right to the hoop there is Darian Davis, and he's fouled going up for it. So a lot of fouls here in the early going.
And these shots from Tindley, Cathedral's either forcing turnovers or they are doing a really nice job of contesting the shots that Tindley puts up.
So they're going to call an offensive foul on Tindley here, as you see Jake Davis here again.
And you saw the miscommunication with Glenn and Brown. Those two guys weren't sure which one of them was going to pick up Davis after they had a little lob pass from Cathedral. So miscommunication there led to Davis getting that bucket.
Comer takes the handoff from the lane inside, knocks down the fadeaway jumper.
Comer's really starting to get into a groove. That second quarter was huge for him, and already 5 points to open up this third.
Humphrey dribbles right in there on Davis and draws a foul on him. Foul number 3 on Davis.
Humphrey did a nice job in the first half of driving it in no matter who was guarding him. And he had 7 points in that first half, trying to get his first points here.
But again, Humphrey just having a tough time from the field like he did the previous game.
And from the free throw line, he was 2 of 4 in the first half, but able to knock down this first one.
But nonetheless, Omar Dillard describes Aaron Humphrey as a kid who has a lot of focus right now. Of course, he stays focused on the court, but also the fact that he stays focused off the court as well. He's proud to say that that Humphrey has a 3.7 grade point average at Tindley, which is excellent.
Congratulations to him.
And there's a lane violation coming up on Tindley. So that negates the free throw and keeps it at a 20-point advantage now for Cathedral.
Man, all of a sudden, it's down to 20 points. I mean, that's just how fast, in the blink of an eye, how Cathedral can run away with it.
And there's a corner jumper, a 2-point jumper there for Xavier Booker.
Yeah, the game it changes a little bit with Booker in the ballgame at 6'10". See right there, able to deflect that shot.
And only a sophomore for Jason Delaney's squad. Corner 3, unable to connect is Tibbs, and the rebound falls into the hands of Glenn. And Humphrey comes in transition, gets it back to Glenn, and knocks it down there. You want to see a lot more of that there in transition if you're Coach Dillard.
Great pass by Humphrey. Glenn running the floor with him right down the lane, able to thread the needle.
Glenn has now 4 points. As we tick closer to the halfway mark of this quarter. Comer, step back 3, and he hits it.
Comer makes it look so easy, so smooth, and just kind of doing whatever he wants with the basketball right now.
He now has 17 points as you see a foul on the other side. And you're going to get Comer for that foul. That's now number 3 on him. Let's take a look at the step-back 3 again here from Comer.
Well, he gets a mismatch with Glenn. Originally picked him up, and then Robinson kind of was sliding through, so Glenn may have thought Robinson was going to pick him up. Those two might match up a lot better than Glenn picking up Comer, and Comer sees that. He's got enough space to rise up and hit it.
Humphrey inside, blocked again by Booker. And Brady gets a hand across the arms from Antonio Robinson. 2 shots coming here for Brady.
Booker almost averages 2 blocks a game, and coming off the bench, he's not going to get very many minutes. He's going to get some good quality minutes, especially right here in the third quarter. He's going to give a guy like Jake Davis a break, and he's going to change the look for Cathedral. You bring in a guy at 6'10", when mostly, you're a guard-heavy offense in Cathedral, so you bring Booker in, it kind of changes the dynamic of the way things are, and of course, it's going to change the way Tindley plays because now they might be a little bit more nervous about driving in on a guy like him.
Brady connects on both free throws. Quick score update from Lawrence North right now. Here it is currently Homestead over Lawrence North, 52-50 in overtime. As a shot missed there by Tindley, and back the other way comes Sincere Germany off the bench yet again.
Sincere Germany he's just a flash as a quick bucket answer from Robinson.
And that's only the second bucket here in this half for Tindley as we take past the 4-minute mark.
But Germany and Booker have had such good minutes coming off the bench. Germany is always just slashing to the bucket, threatening the defenders.
Humphrey along the baseline, spin move inside, can't finish though.
And I think if Humphrey has a better handle of that basketball, he's going to be able to put it up at a much easier way. I think he kind of mishandled it a little bit. If he puts a clean delivery up there, he's going to put that in, but nice spin move, nice attempt.
And an easy lane there for Vincent Brady, who now has 15 points to his credit, and Cathedral is really pouring it on now as they have really extended a big lead now.
Well, what happened and what helped in that set, as just a silly turnover here committed by Tindley, is that offense, everybody was cutting away from the basketball, and it left a wide open lane from Brady, and you see the nice take here from Germany.
Sincere Germany off the bench now with 8 points to his credit. He's averaging only 4 points a season. In fact, his season high was 11 points in a loss to Homestead, Cathedral's only loss this season. And now another traveling violation on Cathedral as Booker was going to the rim. On the other side now is Orlando Hall. Gets it up top to Charles Jelks, who's into the ball game for the first time today. And the shot falls there for Aaron Humphrey, and he has a chance at a classic and one opportunity, something that's much needed here for Tindley.
Before that bucket, just 5 points in this third quarter with a little over 5 minutes of play in this quarter. So it's for Tindley, it's really come in a difficult way. Irish are staying strong on the defensive end, not allowing Tindley to get any good looks, and right there was a good example of it. Humphrey just kind of bullied his way into getting that bucket.
And the shot falls there for Humphrey. So Humphrey now 4 of 6 at the charity stripe today. 2.5 minutes left to go in this third quarter, and they're going to say Sincere Germany stepped on the sideline, and there's another turnover by the Irish.
I guess one thing, if you're Tindley, you can look at, you have 10 minutes left to play in this ball game. Limit your turnovers. Let Cathedral be the one to commit most of them as you get another second chance opportunity here, but also along with that, limit your turnovers and try to get as many second chance opportunities as you can, just like here with Davis.
Vincent Brady picks up his second foul on that take, and you saw Orlando Hall go right to the rack. Of course, Orlando Hall only standing at about 5'9", going up against some big men down low. But here you have Darian Davis back at the charity stripe yet again. He's only had one more. He missed an earlier one-shotter, but he makes that one. And Darian Davis connects on both, shooting 71% this season. And now some full-court pressure here from Tindley, as Brady is able to navigate it fairly easily. Brady again around the corner, and again gets another hand across the arms from Antonio Robinson.
Brady has had some really good instances where he's had the basketball, and he's got 15. It's almost a quiet 15, but the amount of times that he gets the basketball, he is making the most of it.
And Brady connects there. Again, Vincent Brady committed to play at Air Force next season. Of course, the 6'4" senior averaging 14 points a contest. And Jason Delaney calls him one of his best two-way players this season.
He's a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line now. Him and Comer both with 17.
Aaron Humphrey draws the blocking foul there on Davis. That is now Jack Davis's fourth personal foul of the day. And Cathedral has now committed 18 fouls, so they're in the bonus, as Aaron Humphrey back at the charity stripe yet again. And off of the front of the iron that time. Still, nonetheless, we still have a full quarter of basketball to play, and things have definitely gone. We have seen a lot of crazy things, but Cathedral's still well in control right now.
Yeah, and these are the quarters where you want to do just that, because the first quarter went to Tindley. At first, we kind of forget that it was tied after one. It was 11-11, but it felt like Tindley was up by more than 2 possessions. So, it is a game of quarters, and right now the last 2 have most definitely gone to Cathedral.
The shot doesn't count there. There was a foul here in transition as they were sweeping it inside. It's going to be on Tindley. And you're going to get Orlando Hall picking up his first. Team foul number 6 this half for Tindley. The fouls have really racked up in this third quarter. 30-second timeout, it appears, taken by Cathedral. Of course, today's broadcast brought to you by Aspen Creek Grill in Noblesville. Comfort fresh food every day delivered to your door or to your table. Try our powwow shrimp and great steaks as well, and great staff are ready to serve you every day. Give us a call at 317-559-3300 for more information. Aspen Creek Grill in Noblesville, a proud sponsor of tonight's City Alliance semifinals, powered by Indiana SRN. With Jarrett Lewis, I'm Kurt Darling, and so now if you're Cathedral, you have about 97 seconds left in this third quarter. You want to try, you keep things up, but if you're Tindley, you got to try and get creative now if you want to have a chance at possibly making this thing interesting.
Yeah, now would be a good time to, put your full court pressure into play. Just you got to make something happen. It's a now or never situation. You're down 23. You have about 9.5 minutes left to go in this one. Use all of that time to just try to win every single possession. But right there, the entry pass down low is going to be good for Malaki.
That's actually Jake Davis coming home there as Jaden Malaki fed it inside. And so that actually is Malaki getting the score there. And right down the other side, what a play there by Vincent Brady.
And now what do we have?
And it's a technical foul. They're probably going to get Vincent Brady for hanging on the rim.
You can hear
and a lot of the Cathedral faithful not too happy with that call there, but Either way, it could go either way, but that seems to be the call on the court now, so you're going to get technical foul shots from Orlando Hall, who does not get the first one. Taking a look here again, so you see Vincent Brady coming in transition. Great play. And maybe a little bit there. Well, I don't know. What do you think there, Jarrett?
I don't know about that one. I mean, his momentum is taking him, kind of back towards the court. He's out. He slams it home. His momentum is going towards the back wall, and then the momentum takes him back to the court, and then he just falls down. He's only hanging on there for about a second and a half.
So Orlando Hall missed both foul shots, but taking it right there, a big three-pointer for Tindley. And again, Orlando Hall picking things up a little bit. Inside a minute now to play in this third quarter. Long pass, Malaki. Outside, Johnson. And now Brady holding it up top. They'll reset the offense. Brady going in, dunks it, and this time he lets go of the rim in due time. Still, nonetheless, Vincent Brady has had an explosive third quarter. 10 points alone in this quarter. And Aaron Humphrey tries to get a shot from the elbow to fall at the buzzer, and it does not go. 64-38, Cathedral all over Tindley going to the fourth. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
Hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
YouTube.com. Getting set for action here in the City Alliance fourth quarter here, game one. But first, let's take a look at some other scores going across basketball here this evening. Of course, a big story now. Down goes number one. Lawrence North, the top team in the state, has fallen in overtime to number two Homestead by a final score of 55-50.
How about Homestead moving now to 16-0, a huge overtime victory, keeping it close. Plenty of D1 talent. We talked about some of the D1 talent we're going to see here tonight on SRN. Plenty of it in that game as well.
So the opening possession for Cathedral doesn't come up with any fruit as Malachi is unable to connect, but neither are the Tindley Tigers. And a good pass in transition to Brady, and he's fouled going up for that shot.
His third dunk attempt in about a minute of play.
And let's take a look at that three-pointer there from Orlando Hall.
Early on in that first half, Tindley did a nice job of recognizing, they're going up against this 2-3 zone. Tindley kind of gave out a 2-3 zone on their defensive end as well. But, with quick passes, we mentioned it a couple times, you make quick passes around that perimeter, you get the ball into the high post, you move the ball quickly against the 2-3 zone, and you're going to find the open shooters.
Again, Vincent Brady having a heck of a game here this afternoon, as he's still now a perfect 8 for 8 from the foul stripe. And the lead keeps growing now for Cathedral. And there's a big three-pointer from Jaden Pinkston, who has been held scoreless tonight until that shot.
That is really surprising. Pinkston's the second leading scorer on this squad. Hasn't had very many attempts.
And of course, he was also playing early with 2 fouls. He hasn't committed a foul since then. But nonetheless, that seems to be a turning point here for this Tindley squad as Comer misses a three-pointer there, and the putback is going to be contested in a foul. Going to be coming up on Cathedral. But as I was saying there, that seems to be kind of a little bit of a turning point there when you don't see Pinkston start the second quarter with for the Tigers because he has foul trouble. As you see this Pinkston three-pointer here, but really they have missed his presence here, especially in that second quarter.
That was a good pass by Pinkston. That's what happens when you get the ball to the high post. That player there, in that instance, it was Humphrey. He has so many different things that he can do. He can shoot it from that spot, but he's also going to see guys on the perimeter make some cuts to get open. And with a quick passing like that, Humphrey back to Pinkston, that set up a wide-open three on that left wing.
So Jaden Pinkston now with only 4 points to his credit. And make it 5 as he goes 2 for 2 there on that foul trip. And now we have a whistle away from the ball here. And they're saying a fan, oh wow, we just have a fan ejection now. So some fans chirping at the referees here in this contest. Of course, we don't ever like to see that.
No, we don't. And I'm not sure what school this fan may be associated with, but if it were to be a Tindley fan, there's not much you can necessarily argue about when you're down 23 in this instance. So,
and it was a Cathedral fan who was ejected, which makes it all the more interesting, the fact that Cathedral is up right now by 23 points.
Yeah, what could they be chirping about? This fan might not have left the building yet. It might take a couple of minutes for them to figure this situation out.
And so both teams on their respective sidelines here while the officials deal with the situation. So a Cathedral fan being ejected here. And so far, this season, we always try to see how they always talk about how there's a shortage of referees from the IHSAA, and of course it's instances like this that kind of fuel that shortage of referees, and we never like to see that.
And every game, of course you're going to get questionable calls from the referees, but from our vantage point, this has been a pretty well officiated game. There's been a couple of calls that have some hand check fouls, so some groups of referees may not be so adapt to calling those types of fouls. This group has been, but for the most part, this has been a well officiated game, and hopefully we can get the situation figured out.
Well, now
quickly.
We have another situation because the scoreboard has just gone out. As we wait to see here how this situation figures itself out, they're able to get the scoreboard back up now, with 6:59 left to go here in this ball game. So quite the turn of events here as we have had a fan ejection, and then the scoreboard decides to go out right there at that perfect time.
Looks like they got it all figured out now. Both teams back onto the floor. So we get that all taken care of and out of the way, and still got 7 minutes left. Hopefully you'll see some clean basketball the rest of the way. Full court pressure also, as we would see that sooner or later from Tindley.
And now a timeout taken by Cathedral here. It is a full timeout, it appears. We'll take a break with them. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Arsenal Tech High School here on Indiana SRN, City Alliance semifinal action. The winner of this game will be facing either Covenant Christian or Crispus Attucks in the final. That game going to be decided later on this evening. And right now, Cathedral well in control, as we now have 6 minutes and 47 seconds left to go here in this contest. So now Cathedral focused on just closing things out here as you see Jake Davis back into the ball game. And Cathedral, their only loss this season has been to Homestead. And of course, as we talked about Homestead earlier, now 16-0 after beating Lawrence North earlier today. Just goes to show you a lot of top talent here right now, getting down to the nitty-gritty as we're over halfway through the rest of the season. And another thing that we can look forward here to tomorrow is we have the girls pairing show for the sectionals. That's going to be coming up tomorrow. You can catch that over on the IHSAA Champions Network as you see Aaron Humphrey knock down a 3 to bring it a little closer. It's back to a 20-point ball game for Cathedral.
Humphrey's lone points back in the first quarter were a 3 as well. He hasn't really stepped out and taken threes after that.
And another dunk by Vincent Brady.
That's the third dunk in this half now for Vincent Brady. Not hanging on the rim that time either.
25 points tonight for Vincent Brady, and Billy Brown is finally able to connect from behind the arc.
That was a deep one. I mean, that was James Harden range from the lefty, stepping out and hitting one from way downtown.
And that now cuts it to a 19-point ball game.
You were talking about his three-point ability as a freshman last year. He put up the most of anyone in the state, but he's been really, really held in check.
Take a look here at Vincent Brady's third dunk of the night here. A great setup here as you see them getting mismatched.
Cathedral, they've done a lot is just this little weaving action, this windshield wiper movement on the perimeter, and it's kind of given Tindley some fits, some miscommunication between teammates on whether they should switch out on the guys that are doing the weaving. So Brady recognized that and had a wide open lane there because nobody picked him up on the switch.
Comer hits both 1-and-1 free throws, extending it now back out to a 21-point advantage. Inside 5 minutes to go now. Brown kicking it back outside, and he fires another three-pointer, and he hits again.
Would have loved to have seen, what kind of game this would be if Brown ended up getting more looks from downtown just like that one, because, just like that, he has 6 points in a matter of 1 minute.
He now has 8 points overall. He had 2 free throws back in the second quarter. So Tindley picking up a little bit of urgency on defense here, but the question is it a little too much, a little too late, depending on how you look at it. Tayshawn Comer gets into the lane, kicking it back out to Brady, and playing a little pitch and catch between them as we now tick to the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. Comer double-teamed. Underneath, backdoor to Tibbs. Gets the shot to fall and draws the foul.
Really nice job of when he got that pressure, Comer did. He saw that double team. Nice job of just staying calm, staying patient, being strong with the basketball and getting it over to his teammates, because after that, you have that double team on one guy, so surely there's some guy open, and they get it down low to Tibbs,
who converts that three-point play. He now has 5 points. Humphrey dishes it underneath to Davis, or rather that's Pinkston, and he draws the blocking foul, and they're going to count the shot.
That's another guy, along with Brown, who has started to come alive in this fourth quarter. You got to think those two, if they are more heavily involved early on, what kind of game are we seeing instead of this 19-point deficit for the Tigers?
Pinkston can't convert the end one. And Vincent Brady double-teamed along the sideline, able to find Edwards underneath to Davis, and he gets the putback. And a timeout on the floor here. And we'll see who gets it. It's a full timeout taken. And we'll take one with them. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Less than 4 minutes to go here at Arsenal Tech High School. City Alliance semifinal action here on Indiana SRN with Jarrett Lewis. I'm Kurt Darling. And by all accounts here, if Cathedral can just hold things out for the last 3.5 minutes, they punch their ticket to the finals here of this tournament.
And no matter who wins in that second game later tonight on Indiana SRN, it's going to be such an intriguing matchup. So exciting. Cathedral facing off against either Crispus Attucks or Covenant Christian.
You can catch that game right here on Indiana SRN. Scheduled tip-off time at around 7:30. As Jake Davis gets back-to-back buckets for Cathedral. 4 points in this quarter. And he now has 12 points on the night.
And with that game later tonight, a combined 3 losses between those two teams in Covenant and Crispus Attucks.
Covenant Christian already securing a conference championship in the Circle City this season under the head coach Scott Flatt and, of course, the Flatt brothers.
A lot of players on that basketball team also involved with the state championship football team.
And an alley-oop attempt there for Vincent Brady doesn't fall. A foul, though, coming up. But they're going to be facing a Crispus Attucks squad that's coming off a commanding victory from just a couple nights ago.
And a team that loves to score the basketball. They have had, I believe, 8 games where they've scored over 80 points, and a couple of those have reached 90, and 1 or 2 of them have reached 100. So they are going to put the ball in the basket at a rapid pace.
Of course, Attucks beating Cardinal Ritter to get to these semifinals just 2 nights ago. And so Vincent Brady knocks those 2 free throws down. As we tick inside 2.5 minutes to go now. So Cathedral, if all things hold, if the results hold here as the foul's called on the floor, they're not going to call a shot, but they are going to give 2 shots to Aaron Humphrey. And Aaron Humphrey has just kind of had a very weird night scoring the ball here. You like to normally see him get into a little bit more of a rhythm, but the majority of his scoring this evening coming from the charity stripe. He's only made, by my account, 4 field goals all night long.
Right, and now he's 5 of 9 from the free throw line. That second and third quarter, he got to the free throw line a good amount, and you'd like to see him kind of try to improve that percentage from that line because now he's 50%.
Well, Aaron Humphrey only a junior, so Omar Dillard has another year to mold him into something that can really, really be more consistent as a player as the years go on.
He's got a lot of potential. He's fun to watch, and he can stretch the floor. He's going to play down low and kind of be bumping and bruising with some of those bigger guys, but he can step out and knock down shots as well.
Jackson Edwards gets a nifty shot down low to extend the lead for Cathedral. But another thing, looking at Tindley here, as you see Glenn pull up just inside the arc, it's a young team. It's a very young team. They have a couple players such as Billy Brown, Humphrey, and even Jaden Pinkston, all of whom will have another year together with this Tindley squad.
And, 3 sophomores, those 3 guys, all sophomores who have gotten some really quality minutes. So, that's exciting if you're Coach Omar Dillard. You have young guys like that are getting a good amount of minutes in every single game, and they're contributing in whatever way they are. So you got to be excited to be Dillard to have those guys back for 2 more years.
And Cathedral here, as we're approaching 1 minute to go, likely securing the win here, so they'll be facing either Covenant Christian or Attucks. Of course, Crispus Attucks, one of the top 10 teams in the state here. You see Tayshawn Comer at the line. But on top of that, looking forward beyond the City Alliance tournament, you have games such as on the road going to Columbus North, but also they're going up to Fort Wayne to take on Blackhawk Christian, who is, again, arguably one of the best teams in the state.
There's nothing wrong with, playing some of those really good teams during the regular season, only to prepare you for your sectional when the games, of course, matter the most. So, you play those tough teams. You play up in class. You play some of the best teams in the state. It's only going to make you better and prepare you even more and even better for sectional time.
In fact, Cathedral will be playing their sectional right here on this floor again here at Arsenal Tech High School. The boys' draw will be coming here next month or so. But you also have other teams. It's a really, really meat grinder of a sectional that they play in. They have Lawrence North, Cathedral, Crispus Attucks, Lawrence Central, North Central, Warren Central, and Arsenal Tech. That's probably the toughest sectional in the state, regardless of class.
No doubt about it. I mean, how many great teams can you put in one sectional?
Charles Jelks gets in on the scoring action here as we tick inside the final minute. Malachi is going to get called for traveling there as he didn't put the ball up in time off of the jump. So Jason Delaney due to pick up his 260th win as a head coach in the IHSAA ranks. Of course, he's had stops at other places too, such as Southport, Waldron, Anderson Highland before that school closed, Indianapolis, Walsh, Washington, and also even coaching right here at Arsenal Tech for a few years. Of course, that's where he won a state championship with Trey Lyles. And now he has all the pieces here with Cathedral where he could win his third state championship with a third different school if things play out the way they hope later on.
How about a resume? How about that for him? Such an impressive career, so many different stops. It's you hear about a lot of coaches who, they stay at one school for a really long time and they have so much success. They build a really nice foundation there. But for him, it's just a little bit different, and it's just as impressive, the amount of state championships he has at the different levels and at all the different schools that he's been to.
And now Tindley calling for the foul here as they're going to be sending Jaron Tibbs to the line. And that's personal foul number 3 there for Darian Davis. So Jaron Tibbs kind of having a quiet night here, as now with that free throw, majority of his scoring coming from the charity stripe. Overall, he has 6 points on the night. And now make it 7. Of course, Tibbs, a solid football player for the Cathedral Fighting Irish. In fact, this season he scored more touchdowns in one season, as you see a long three-pointer there from Orlando Hall.
That's the third one of the game for Orlando coming off the bench.
Quick foul in transition here, as again it goes against Davis. So that'll be his second foul there for Darian Davis. And Jackson Edwards back at the foul stripe. And there is the first missed free throw for Cathedral all night long. Well, if you were going to miss a free throw, you want it to be right now.
Absolutely. You're up by 21 with 15 seconds left. It's all right if you can. You'd love to see him go 100%. That would be some sort of mark there.
And Malachi loses the handle on the ball there. It's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Cathedral as we're now ticking inside 9 seconds left to go here. So once again, the winner of this game, likely Cathedral, will be playing either Covenant Christian or Crispus Attucks. That game to be decided later on this evening. You can catch that game right here on Indiana SRN. We've gone final here at Arsenal Tech High School in game number 1, an 85-64 victory for Cathedral, their 12th win of the season, and as I said earlier, the 260th for head coach Jason Delaney.
Very impressive from Cathedral. Kind of got off to a slow start the first quarter, though they tied it up, and ever since then they kind of took a step back and realized who they were. One of the top 5 teams in the entire state of Indiana. They did it in every facet of the game. They drove to the bucket. They got to the free throw line where they were 100% before that last miss from Edwards, but I'm sure some of his teammates might give him a little crap for that, but that's all right because you pull off the win by 21. The three-point shooting really started to get hot in that second quarter, and then from there on, guys like Vincent Brady really started to take over, be aggressive, get to the bucket. Tayshawn Comer had an extraordinary game, as did Jake Davis. Those 3 guys really setting the way for Cathedral, and they took over. Second through the fourth quarter was all their game.
And so now we're going Go through the stats here just briefly here as you see Vincent Brady finishing the day with 25 points to his, 27 points to his credit here. A new season high for Vincent Brady. Of course, the Air Force commit really going to be turning a lot of heads there with that performance. Aaron Humphrey with a decent night here for Indianapolis Tindley as well, but also Tayshawn Comer quietly getting a solid 15 points.
Comer really didn't score at all in the first quarter. And, like we said, they got off to kind of a slow start, but Comer really started to get hot. He had 9 points in that second quarter and then ended up finishing above 20. What an extraordinary game for him. It just took him a little while to start to get hot, and you got to think whoever they end up playing 2 days from now, whether it be Covenant or Crispus Attucks, those two guys might want to try to get off to a much better start. I think Cathedral is really good once they have the lead. We saw a perfect example of it here today. They kind of kept it around 10 points, 12 points for a while, and then they really started to take off, and they were in control the rest of the way.
Once again, final score here in Game 1 of City Alliance tournament action, semifinal tournament action. Cathedral gets the win, 85-64. Jarrett Lewis, once again, a pleasure, my friend.
As always with you, Kurt. Always enjoy doing the games with you, and hopefully we'll have some for you later on down the road, maybe next week.
Definitely. We'll send it to Keith Myers here after this quick timeout. You've been watching City Alliance semifinal tournament action from Arsenal Tech High School here on Indiana SRN. So long, everybody.